words of Ms. Kalniete, where she said that we need strategic patience and a bold work towards Russian society. I would start from here because I think that there is a unifying line in this hemicycle. I always try to look for those lines. And this is the need for our strong, constant commitment to engage with the Russian society. I think we need to do that when it comes to people-to-people contacts. We need to do it when it comes to young people in Russia. I've had the chance of discussing this also yesterday with our Russian friend. And the risk of losing entire parts, major parts of the Russian society, especially young generations, to the idea that Europe is not an enemy. Europe is a space for cooperation and democracy, also for the Russian people. I think this is something we have to build also, and especially in these difficult times. So those of you who called for an overall strategy towards Russia from the European Union side, let me welcome very much these words. Let me welcome very much this plea that some of you have raised in this room, and that reflects some of the national parliaments' thinking. I was happy to discuss that with members of the House of Lords in London recently. You might be aware of their recent report on the crisis in Ukraine, but also on relations of the European Union with Russia. I think there is a need to collectively think on how we engage, as some of you have mentioned, also on our positive tools to engage with the Russian population. We do not have to be afraid of this discussion, as Boris was not afraid of thinking of difficult things in the difficult conditions he was operating politically. We have also to ask ourselves the difficult questions, and part of these difficult questions today is how do we effectively, in the best possible way, support dynamics in the Russian society, or at least prevent them to be completely cancelled from the public debate. I would come back to ask your support when engaging in this difficult exercise, because we have to be clear. Some of you have mentioned it very clearly. You did it, I think. On one side, we have a strong, sound policy that implies also sanctions. On the other side, maybe we have to make it more clear, more, let's say, bolder. What do we do with the Russian people and with Russia as a big state that is not only its leadership? And I think that this part of our work will need courageous, consistent, and maybe a little bit out-of-the-box thinking in the coming months, without being necessarily trapped in the rhetoric that we use, which is not only a rhetoric, it's also action, and we need that, but we need to complement that with our positive actions towards the Russian population. Let me, and I think that some of you were mentioning also very openly, the need to keep open the channels of dialogue. If you don't do that, it's clear that we will have more and more about that. I will close with one point that was mentioned by many, the need to increase our strategic communication or to counter the propaganda. Now, we have started this work. It is obviously not, and it will never be, because it is not in our DNA, it's not in our political understanding, this is something we can do, or we will be interested in doing. It is not about counter-propaganda, but it is a matter of supporting media freedom. It is a matter of supporting freedom of expression. It is also a matter of providing to the most, or to the big number of Russian-speaking population in Russia, but also in our own countries, correct information. We've started to work on that. We will discuss that also in the European Council, in the Foreign Affairs Council in the coming months. This is something on which I think the European Union has an added value, to work, to support those that are doing an excellent job when it comes to transparent and full information, and to support more the explanation of European values and principles in all parts of the European continent. I thank you very much.
Köszönöm főképviselő asszonynak a vita lezárásához adott válaszát. Tájékoztatom képviselőtársaimat, hogy 7 állásfoglalási indítványt kaptam ehhez a vitához, és egyben azt is tájékoztatom önöknek, hogy holnap történik meg a vitáról a szavazás, a napirendi pontról a szavazás. Áttérünk a következő napirendi pontra, az Európai Unió külügyi